Right, listen, will we start? Well, listen, this could well go very, very badly wrong. I hope it doesn't. I hope you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. This is the second of our third sessions for FLO, Family Learning Organisation. And I'm going to do the maths today, and I'm Colette Delargy, for any of you who haven't met me before. And my two co-hosts today are Kate and Liz. And we've got Donald in the background, just in case anything goes very, very badly wrong. He's going to sort us all out, and you can help out as well. Okay, we're going to have a look at two lovely, very, very simple dice games, or you can use playing cards as well. Today I might just use the dice. Has anybody got dice handy who would like to compete with me? Oh, Kate has, Liz has. Very well behaved. Maureen, you probably have a few things handy. Don't worry, don't worry.
I'm thinking I've got dice, but they're not to hand. I'd have to go and rummage for them.
No, it's okay. Kate and Liz have us anyway. Our first little game is just a very, very simple adding one or taking away one. And what I'll do afterwards is show you some variations that you can do to raise the ante a little bit for the children. But it's an absolutely fundamental skill for the children. We need them with their quick recall. So this is just getting them into it. And one of the reasons why I use dice so much is because the children don't realise they're doing any kind of maths, but they get totally engaged and they're getting all that quick recall that we actually want. So, Kate, will you do the first one with me, and then I'll compete with Liz in the second one?
Okay, then.
So, Kate, all you have to do, and I'm going to change over to a different screen here.
Do we take notes? Sorry, do we take notes, or are you going to send out any notes, or?
Peter, it's actually so simple. I think you'll actually remember. I think this will be scarred on you for life. This will be so bad, it'll be scarred on. But if you need notes at the end, yes, I will actually send out notes, okay? So the first thing is you just need a page. I've got a whiteboard here. And Kate, we're just going to draw a line. It doesn't have to be very straight. As you can see, mine's atrocious. Okay, you've got a page. Now, Kate, are you using dice or playing cards?
I'll use the dice.
Use the dice, okay. So to begin with, we're just going to use just an ordinary 1 to 6 die, okay? And folks, don't worry if I say this. This is just, somebody corrected me once, and I like to pass it on as well. It's 1 die, 2 dice, 3 dice, 4 dice. So this will be a bag of dice. And I know the word die sounds dreadful for children, but it's just one of those things I have to get used to. Because this game's only adding on 1 or taking away 1, this die goes from 1 to 6. So I'm going to put in a 0, and I'm going to put in 7. Okay, and normally I mark round about halfway, so I'm going to do my 1, 2, 3. Hello, who's this? Chatting away. 5, 6. Look, it's rough and ready, okay? We're not measuring anything out. We're just having a wee bit of fun. This is the kind of thing that you can play with the children. It could take 5 minutes or whatever, but they're going to learn an awful lot from it, and they won't realise they're learning. Now, Kate, I'm going to go first just so you can see what we're doing. So I'm going to roll the die. I've got a 3. Can you see that? Look, I can choose either to score off the 4 or score off the 2. I can add 1 on the 3 to get 4. I'm going to do the adding on in a minute. Kate, your turn.
Well, I have a 6.
Well, then you can add on 1 to get 7, or you can take away 1 to get 5. Which one? You can only choose 1.
Okay, I'll have the 5.
Okay. So it's my go. Now I've got a 2. I'm going to add on 1 and get 3.
I've got a 1.
Okay, so you can either take away 1 to get 0 or add on 1 to get 2.
I'll take away 1.
Okay. I've got 6, so I can get rid of 7. Could have got rid of 5, but I think I'll just stick with the 7.
Colette, is that a theme on sort of bingo? Is that where we're going? Sort of to cross them out?
Maureen, all we're actually doing is we're just getting them used to consecutive numbers, adding on 1 or taking away 1.
Right, okay.
You're just trying to get rid of all the numbers, and it's the first person to get rid of all the numbers is the winner.
Right, okay.
Okay.
And you're getting a number, Colette, but you're not taking away that number, you're taking away another number.
Yeah. Yes, Peter, you're either adding on 1 or taking away 1.
Oh, right, from the number you've got.
Yes, so it's not number recognition. It's either adding on 1 or taking away 1. And what we're trying to do is make sure, or trying to see who can get rid of all those 7 numbers first, or 8 numbers, because we've included 0.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Right, well, I've got a 5, so I'm going to take away 1 and that'll be 4.
Okay. I've got 3. I already added on 1 to get 4, so I'm going to do 3, take away 1 gives me 2. So I've taken that away. I'm left with 0, 1, 5, and 6 at the minute. Kate, what about you?
Okay, well, I've just done a 4, so I'm going to take away 3. So
Okay.
I've got 1, 2, 6, and 7 left.
Okay. I've got a 2, so I'm going to take away 1, and that gives me 1.
So I've got 2. So
Okay.
I'm taking away 1, and that gives me 1.
Okay.
So I've only 2, 6, and 7 left on my line.
Okay. I've got 0, 5, and 6. Now, through a 6, so I'm going to take away 1, which gives me 5.
I've done a 3, so take away 1, that gives me 2.
Okay.
I've only 1 number left, Colette. No, sorry, I have 2.
You better have 2, because I went first. Do you see this cheating? Do you see when you're playing games? I'm sorry for saying it. Now, I know your children will be little angels, but a lot of children cheat. So do adults. I've got a 4, and if I add 1 on to 4, it's 5. I've already used my 5, so can't use that. Kate, you might have a chance to win this game.
No, I've thrown a 2. I've thrown a 2, so I can't go anywhere with that.
You can't go anywhere? Okay. What's that? Because I've got rid of my 1 and my 3.
I've thrown a 6, so I can get rid of my 7.
Okay. I've thrown a 3 again.
Okay, well, I've just thrown another 6, and that means I can take away my 6. Oh, no, that's wrong. No, I can't.
Change the picture again there.
Stop. I've 1 number left, and it's a 6.
I've got 0 and 6 left. I've got a 5. Oh, good. I can get rid of my 6. I hope you hit. Don't you dare.
Have you won?
No, not yet. I've still got 0 to get rid of.
Okay, all right then. I have to get rid of a 6. No, I've thrown a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
I've thrown a 4. I can't go.
I've thrown a 5. Ah! I've thrown a 5. I can get rid of my 6.
I don't believe you, Kate.
win.
I think you're cheating.
What do I get for winning?
You don't get anything. The pleasure of beating me, for goodness sake. So listen, do you understand the rules of the game? What we're really doing is just getting the children to add on 1 or take away 1.
Yeah.
Doing it very basically with using a 1 to 6 die, which means that the children are only working up to 7. If you were using, say, playing cards, if you look at it, we could have the children using the 8, the 9, the 10, and we could include the Jack, the Queen, and the King, which means that they could play, you know, 11, 12, 13. You're all right with that? Or, Liz, is that as clear as mud, or?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yes.
Okay. Now, there's no reason why you have to limit this to just adding on 1. You could have the children adding on 2, adding on 3, or whatever. Change the numbers accordingly. I use other dice, so these ones actually will have these numbers booked. So here, I could have them working up to 12 for a bit of fun, folks. If you actually have a variety of dice, and these aren't actually expensive to buy. So if you could have the children, say, using multiples of 10 dice and just single digit dice. And then that will bring the numbers up to 99 instead of just using a 1 to 6 die. So you could actually just stretch the numbers that little bit. Now, the next game I'm actually going to play with you. Liz, will you join in with this one?
I will if I, yes, I will if I can.
Yeah. We just need 2 dice this time. 2 1 to 6 dice. This one, it is actually better if you just stick with the 1 to 6. But again, we're going to use our whiteboard and we're going to put in our numbers from just 1 up to 10. Listen, if you want to do this with us and you will actually get to understand the game much better. Okay, so just draw a line, whether it's on a whiteboard or whether it's on a page.
All right. Are you starting at 1 this time, Colette? Not
Starting
0?
at 1, yes, because we're just trying to get rid of numbers 1 to 10 inclusive. Now, this is one where first player keeps going until they can't go any further. So we're going to be adding and only adding this. So if I throw my 5 and 3, I could score out the 8. I could have decided that I could score out the 7 and the 1. I could have done the 6 and the 2, the 5 and the 3, and so on. Or I could have taken 4 and 3 or 7 and 1 or 8. The purpose, what we're trying to do again, is get rid of all of the numbers. This particular game is going to help the children with their flexibility and thinking about their number bonds. So I've got 5 and 6 or 11. As you can see, I don't have 11 here. I have to decide whether I want to do 10 and 1. I could do 9 and 2, but you know, I think I'm going to go for 7 and 4. Got another 11. I'm going to do 6 and 5. I've now got 4 and 4 or 8. Now I have a problem because I have 3 and 2 or 5 and 1 or 6. I cannot make up 8. So I am left with my 10, and I'm going to do 9 and 1 or 10. So 10 and another 10 is 20, and I've got 25. That's my total. Okay. So Liz, your turn. Do you want me to draw it out, Liz, and you can tell me what numbers you get?
Yes, yeah, either or, yes.
I can't do the summer. I know what Yike said.
And then back.
I can't watch it. Oh, Yike that program. So can we watch it?
Go back and watch with your Paw Patrol.
Okay, Liz, if you throw your dice, you can tell me what you get.
I did throw them and I got 4 and 6.
So would you like me to score out the 10?
I was
would you
going
like
to
to-
score out the
Oh,
4.
Yike that.
I was just going to score out the 4 and
Yike that.
Colette.
Okay, score out the 4 and the 6, all right?
Oh, I've got 3 and 6 this time. So I think I will score out the 9 this time.
Okay,
I have 2 and 5 this time. So I'll go with the 2 and the 5, just scoring them out.
okay.
I have 2 3s this time. So now I'm a bit stuck, aren't I?
So can you see with this one, you've got 3
Yeah.
and 1, but you cannot make up 6 with the numbers
No.
that are left. So what you're really
Could I
trying
do
to
5 and 1?
You've already scored out the 5.
Oh, I've scored out 5. Sorry, I didn't score them out in mine. Yeah, no, I thought I was a bit stuck. Yeah,
But I
stuck.
think you're still beating me, okay? So we've got 7 and 1 are 8, 8 and 8 are 16, and 10. Oh, Liz, I beat you by 1. I got
Oh,
25,
gosh.
you got 26. It is actually possible to get right down to 0 with this one, and that is the target. And what you do with the children is you're trying to get them to do the best of, say, 3 sets of games. Okay? Really just for a quick recall of their addition bonds. I'm going to come back, sorry, just to the screen.
Sorry, Colette. Would the children then know that the object was to get the least numbers, so that
Yes.
if I had planned it better, I maybe could have scored out the larger numbers first?
Well, you see, that's one of the things. The more they actually play the game, they work out what strategy they're going to have, whether they're going to, you know, score out the 2 numbers that are thrown on the dice, which means they're not really adding, or whether they're actually scoring out and thinking, oh, if I get rid of my bigger numbers, I'm only going to be left with the smaller numbers, which means that my score is going to be lower. But then the other thing, whenever you're playing with dice, is you never actually know what you're going to get. So there's always that risk there anyway, and everybody's got the chance to win.
Is this a game, Colette, that the kids are doing in school? Is this kind of reinforcing the game they do in school, or is it just for numeracy purposes at home?
Well, this one, if I'm going around schools, yes, this is the kind of one that I'd be doing with them, Peter, you know, because the more they actually just play games, the more they're going to learn, you know, the miles off by heart. So because I'm not now working in, well, I do work in a couple of schools, but because I'm now independently employed and I go around schools or whatever, then I would do this kind of thing. But I also do it for the parents' meetings, because when I think at home, whenever parents are working with the children, it should be fun kind of activities. There shouldn't be an awful lot of marking or anything, but it should be something that just helps the children with their quick recall. So whether it's done at home or in school, it'll be wonderful anyway.
I think this would be a great game. Maybe, fellas, during the pandemic, I've got them counting up to 100 backwards and forwards. But
Brilliant.
the adding thing, I have to say, because I have a bit of experience in coaching adults, but with kids, it's a different ball game. So I think this game definitely, I think this game's fantastic for just to understand, taking away and adding, you know. It's the first game for me anyway. I'll probably focus on more so, because only just to get them more on the idea of counting and taking away, you know.
Yeah, I work in a post-primary school on a Friday, and the kids are absolutely fabulous, but it's so obvious that those who do have the quick recall of their mental maths, they can speed through things, whereas the children who don't have it, you know, they're working with their fingers. And I know for years and years that has been criticised, but actually some of the most recent research coming out is saying if the children need to use their fingers, let them use their fingers, because they have their fingers with them at all times. But we need them to get beyond that. So it's games like this, instead of the boring kind of, you know, do this page of sums, do this, do the other, you know, all the stuff that just turns the children off. They like it at the beginning, but too much of it really isn't particularly good for them. So I do think that the more you can have a nice little game, they don't see it as being work, and they learn so quickly with it.
Yeah,
I can see this one being very good for my for Harvey. He's 5 and he's very good with his numbers actually, but I think he would really enjoy, you know, throwing the dice, because that's kind of touchy-feely. He likes the numbers, to count the numbers, and then he's going to have to go back and recognise the numbers written would So that would be brilliant for him, you know. And as you say, it's a game. We can all of us can sit there and play it.
Exactly. Now, there will be fights, Maureen. Believe me, there will be fights.
There's always fights.
Do not come back to me and complain about the fights. They will be there. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want nasty messages to FLO Northern Ireland saying, you know, World War III started, all the rest.
Let's be honest, if you put 2 children in a room, there will be fights. It's just part of having children around.
Put 2 adults in the room and there'll be fights as well, Rory. So.
I didn't want to admit that.
Well, listen, these are just the kind of things that we're going to be doing on some of our future courses. So we'd love to get some feedback from you, whether you've enjoyed it, whether there's the kinds of things that you want to do. I've been mentioning Liz here. Liz is going to be doing our next session, which is the same time, same place next Tuesday. And Liz, do you want to say something about what you're going to be working?
Yes, I'm going to be talking about emotional well-being, and basically focusing on the strategies that might help our children when they're feeling anxious. I'm going to be talking about really how lots of the things that we do are very much just done without any thought. And we go into kind of periods of maybe feeling anxious because it's just our fight and flight. We're going to be talking about how we can train ourselves and our children to think, you know, more logically about what's happening, making a plan about what we can do, using our bodies. Colette's just mentioned the fingers there. Our fingers can be very useful when it comes to anxiety. So I'll be talking about little strategies that can help our children to cope with the anxieties that are out there.
Happy days. That'll be good.
Well, hopefully
next week, is that? Next week, the same sort of time?
Same time?
Yes, about the same time. Yes, same time, 11 o'clock, same place. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get the link put up on Facebook, but we're also going to send it through to the Education Authority so they can send it through to the schools again.
Yeah. I got it obviously on the app. So yes, that worked. If that's what you did last time, it works.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah.
So listen, thank you all very much for turning up. I hope you did get something. Could you please give us some feedback at flo.northernireland@gmail.com.
But the Facebook page and the Twitter link are there as well. We're on Facebook and Twitter.
Right, okay. No, that's Twitter.
Okay. So listen, thank
brilliant.
you very much for turning up. I hope we didn't waste your time, and you're more than welcome to come any time to see us.
No, that's lovely. I will be using that. That's great.
Good.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Okay.
All the
Thank
best.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.